everyone, welcome back. Today on my channel we're going to be making a pumpkin soup. I've never had pumpkin soup, so it's going to be interesting, but I wanted to make it. So I hope you stay tuned for that recipe. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you. Always give me that thumbs up and hit the bell so you're notified of every video I upload. So let's try making this pumpkin soup. Okay, so we're going to start our pumpkin soup. So the first thing you want to do is get you a pot. Got my fire on about medium. The first thing we're going to put in is 2 tablespoons of butter. Going to get that melted. Oh, I just love the smell of melted butter. I don't know what it is. It smells good. We're going to get that melted, and then I'm going to add in my onions, which is 1/3 cup. Again, I've had these chopped and I freeze mine because we don't use that many onions. But I can use onions in this because I don't think my husband will be trying the pumpkin soup. This is the first time I've ever had pumpkin soup. I've had squash. I do like that too. We're going to get those sauteed a little bit in that butter. We're going to add a little garlic to that, a little garlic powder. 1/2 teaspoon. Ooh, if you could smell my kitchen, it smells good. We're going to saute this about 5 minutes. I'm going to turn my temperature down a little bit. Onions and garlic in the kitchen with butter. It may not take 5 minutes for these onions to soften, but you definitely want to make sure they're tender and translucent before we go on to the next step. Okay, the next step, we're going to be adding a can of pumpkin. And it's just like pumpkin puree. It's not pumpkin pie. It doesn't have any seasonings in it, just the pumpkin. That's the best part of pumpkin soup, right? The pumpkin. We're going to stir that in, incorporate that with the onions and the butter and the garlic. We're going to cook that about 2 minutes, just like this. And keep stirring. We don't want it to stick or scorch. Then we're going to be putting in our broth. And I have 32 ounces of chicken broth I'm adding. So now we're going to bring our soup to a boil, and then we're going to simmer it about 15 minutes. So we're going to get this up to boiling. It's almost probably getting very close to boiling. There is our boil. Okay, so I'm going to reduce my heat now, put it on simmer. I'm going to cover it, and we're going to simmer it about 15 minutes. This will just let all the flavors meld together that we have in there so far. So let me turn that down to a simmer. I'm going to get it to go down to a simmer before I put the lid on. Okay, we're going to time it for 15 minutes. Now after this simmers for a little while longer, excuse the banging, I'm going to be adding some heavy cream. If you want to do a non-dairy, you can also use coconut milk if you would like to do that. So we have about 7 more minutes, and then we'll add the rest of our ingredients. Okay, so off camera, I added 1 cup of heavy cream. I apologize. Thought I had it going. 3/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. And I added salt and pepper to taste. And you can season more or less on the cinnamon and nutmeg how you like. Of course, I don't even know what it's going to taste like because I've never had pumpkin soup. I'm going to taste it now and see what I think. Well, I definitely think it could use a little more cinnamon. So I'm going to add a splash more cinnamon. So maybe I've upped that to a teaspoon now. I really don't even know what it's supposed to taste like. Add a splash more nutmeg. And we're going to simmer that another 15 minutes. I think I'm going to put the lid back on it. And we'll be back in 15 more minutes. Okay, let's get us some out and take a taste. I'm excited. It's really pretty. Look at it. All the different colors and the specks of spices. Ooh, yum. Okay. Okay, here we go. My first taste of pumpkin soup. Let's see. It's good. It's very hot. I can taste the butteriness. I think I probably would cut down the butter. I might have put just a little over 2 tablespoons of butter in. So definitely don't stub your toe on the butter. I think I'd go a little bit more on the cinnamon. But it's a very comforting bowl of soup. I really think I do like it. One thing I will say is I did add 1 tablespoon of sugar off camera. I did. So that's going to be in the recipe. You may not want the tablespoon of sugar, but I really like it. I think I do. I'm going to call my sister and ask her to come get some because, like I said, I know my husband won't eat any. But it's pretty hot right now. It's like burning my hand. So try this recipe. You tell me if you liked it. Have you ever had pumpkin soup before? I think I have once. I think I have, but it might have been squash. I know I like squash soup. But I think it's really good. I think actually after it cools off and you reheat it, I bet it tastes even better because that will give time for the spices and everything just kind of, to have more of a flavor in there. But hope you try it. And until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.